Hey everyone, welcome back. Today, we're uncovering a story you've probably never thought about, the history of banking. Where did banks come from? How did we go from storing grain in ancient temples to trading billions on Wall Street? In this video, we'll take you from the dusty vaults of Babylon to the skyscrapers of 2025. And trust me, it's wilder than you think. If you're into money, history, or just love a good story, hit that subscribe button, grab a snack, and let's dive into the secret history of banking. The first banks, Babylon and the temples. Let's start over 4,000 years ago in ancient Mesopotamia, modern-day Iraq. Back then, there were no banks like today, but people still needed a safe place to store their wealth. Enter the temples. Around 2000 BC, in Babylon, priests didn't just pray, they ran the world's first banks. Farmers brought grain, gold, and silver to these temples for safekeeping. Why temples? They were sacred, heavily guarded, and no thief dared to mess with the gods. Here's where it gets interesting. The priests didn't just store stuff, they started lending it out. Got extra grain? They'd loan it to another farmer and charge interest, sometimes up to 20%. They even wrote receipts on clay tablets. Think of it as the first bank statements. One tablet from 1800 BC shows a loan of silver with a 33% interest rate. Imagine that on your credit card today. This wasn't just about money, it was power. Temples became financial hubs, controlling trade and wealth in Babylon. So, next time you're at the bank, remember, it all started with priests and grain. Medieval banking, from gold to paper. Fast forward to medieval Europe around the 12th century. The idea of banking evolved when knights and pilgrims needed to travel safely. During the Crusades, the Knights Templar, yes, those warrior monks, became accidental bankers. They'd take gold from travelers in one city, issue a letter of credit, and let them withdraw it elsewhere. No heavy gold to carry, no bandits to worry about. Genius, right? By the 1300s, Italy took it to the next level. Goldsmiths in cities like Florence and Venice started storing people's gold in vaults. They'd give out receipts, promissory notes, saying, "You've got X amount with us." Soon, people traded these notes instead of hauling gold around. Sound familiar? That's right. These notes were the ancestors of modern paper money. Then came the Medici family in the 1400s. They turned banking into an art form, lending to kings and popes, and building a financial empire. But it wasn't all smooth. Bad loans to royalty helped tank their bank by 1494. Lesson learned. Even kings can be deadbeats. Modern banking, Wall Street, and beyond. Now let's jump to the modern era. By the 1600s, banking got serious. The Bank of Amsterdam, founded in 1609, was one of the first central banks, stabilizing trade with a standard currency. Then, in 1694, the Bank of England popped up, issuing loans to fund wars and colonies. These banks didn't just store money, they created it by lending more than they had. That's called fractional reserve banking, and it's still how banks operate today. Fast forward to the 19th century, Wall Street in New York became the global finance king. The New York Stock Exchange, born in 1792, turned banking into a high-stakes game. By the 1929 crash, banks learned the hard way what happens when speculation goes wild. Millions lost everything. Today, in 2025, banking's gone digital. You've got mobile apps, crypto banks, and AI running trades faster than you can blink. Fun fact, the global banking industry's worth over $5 trillion now. From Babylonian grain to blockchain, banks have come a long way, but there's still about one thing: trust. And that's the secret history of banking, from temple vaults in Babylon to the chaos of Wall Street. It's a story of innovation, greed, and power that's shaped our world for millennia. What's your take? Would you trust a Babylonian priest with your savings, or stick to your banking app? Drop your thoughts below. If you love this trip through time, smash that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for more History Meets Finance content. See you next time.